First of all, I like to say that Lord Green and I, we didn't have a choice. Okay, Miss Harris, we met over the summer, and she kind of said, "This is what we sat down and we did a projection of the school. This is what's going on with the school. We saw that our scores were continuously failing, and as a principal, she said we gonna have to do something. And so she mentioned Larry Bell, and our question was the same. Oh Lord, Miss Harris, we said another program. We did. That was our response. Honestly, we was like, and she's like, no, I heard. I said they say that about all of them. That's me talking. I said,
I love
she
this woman.
did. We really did. We were not just. We didn't just. I don't want you to think we came on board and just like, yes, Larry Bell. We were not. So when we sat down and we looked at some data and we looked at some videos and we looked at some things, and I was like, God, this is a lot of fluff. They didn't move from here to here with these children. We discussed that and we talked about it. So our thing was what we were doing was not working. So we had to do something different. Yeah. So then that's when she decided, well, we would bring Larry Bell here, and we did. And so when he got here, we saw his energy and his passion. So automatically when we saw his energy and his passion, we was like, he's very passionate about his program. So it's something when someone come to sell you something and they're not passionate about it. But he just kept being so I die by this and I swear by this and this will work, this work. We say, okay, fine. So when we met with him and we saw how passionate he was and sincere about children, because it's different about a program, but he talked about kids and the felon schools and what he's seen and some of his experience. So he was able to relate real life situation to us, which we could relate to because this is what's going on in our school. By that time, we were all in. We was like, okay, we're going to do this. So our thing to Miss Harris was already on board. That's what she wanted. She was the principal. That's what she wanted. She just had to have us on the same page. And my thing was, Miss Harris, when we go in, we're going to have to be on one accord with this. Because, Miss Harris is what we call nice nasty. She'll come in and she'll rub your back, if you're not doing it. Why were you not doing, so and so. So we need to make sure.
Somebody said amen.
So we wanted to make sure that when we start implementing this, that we had her support if a teacher had a reason why they didn't want to do it. We needed to know that Ms. Harris couldn't say it's not an option, you have to do it. So when we first introduced Larry Bell, I cannot say that we even had 50% of buy-in because all the teachers were the same. This is something new. So what we did differently is a lot of times we give districts programs and say use it. We have to learn the program first, the administrative team, and then introduce it to the staff. So being that we knew how to implement it and give it to the staff, they were more supported by doing it because we didn't just give them this book of Larry Bell and say, this is what we need you to do. We did PDs, we did professional developments, we met over the summer, we told them these are some things and this is how you can implement it in your classroom. Because it's one thing to tell me something, but it's nothing to show me how to do it. And the big thing was we was able to show the staff how to actually implement it. Most of the staff took it and ran with it. They thought, wow, this is great. They, even within a month, they saw kids have been making growth. We did have naysayers. And those naysayers, what they used to call us, Martin Green, here come the trio of the posse, and we would sit. We'll take turns in and out that one classroom. We'll come in the morning time, if you wasn't doing, you'll see us in a little bit. So we would take turns going in. So by that time, the teacher knew they back in here again. They're coming again. So they knew I'm going to have to do what's expected of me because we were taking turns going into the classroom to make sure it was implemented. It wasn't a bullying situation. It was about the children. And we needed for you to be on board with what we were trying to do because these were the same teachers that were saying, I've tried everything and they're just not learning. So now we're giving you something new and you don't want to use it. So when they got tired of seeing us in there, then they decided, I'm going to get on board. And it's basically that's how it happened. And it didn't take long because what we did was we did an oath that said, we're going to be positive. So if I came to you being negative about Larry Bell, we weren't going to entertain that. We was going to tell all the wonderful things that was going on in my classroom. And we was going to even invite you to come to our class to see some of the things that we were doing to help you implement it. And so once we took that approach, it really started just kind of pan out. And then when we saw how exciting the kids were, our kids were ecstatic, and we started doing a morning routine and we just kept, every day I had to do a walkthrough. And when I did a walkthrough, that was part of my job. We can tell whether Larry Bell had been implemented or not. And I would go in and say, Miss Harris, she's not doing it. Because, someone would do it for 2 days and stop. And it was just like, how do you know? So when we come down, we'll say, bring your plans with you. So when they come down with their plans, where's Larry Bell? Well, so it was kind of like one of those things. We had the check and balance system, because if you don't have the check and balance, there are some people who will not do it. And it was a bullying situation. It was just letting you know this is part of implementation. This is part of what we're going to do to move the school. And about after the first 9 weeks, basically everybody was on board, because they got tired of sitting in front of Miss Harris' desk. They really did. They got tired, and they got tired. They knew when I came in, if I walked in and I didn't say anything and I walked right out, they already knew I was going down there, like they say, ask to tell or whatever. And I would say to the teachers, though, and I had to report with the teachers, please don't back me in the corner. We have to do Larry Bell. And if you don't, I'm going to report this to Miss Harris. Just do what you ask to do. If you don't know what you're doing, and we did have some teachers who did not know how to implement it, that was part of my job, Sometimes I wasn't willing to do it. Miss Harris would say, Diouf, you need to go into this room for a week. Like, Miss Harris, she was sitting in the same training, And she was like, you need to go into this classroom, and this is what you need to do. And guess what I did? Stumped up them steps and went in them classroom and did exactly what she told me to do. Because at the end of the day, if I showed you how to do it, you had no excuse not to do it. And that was the biggest thing. A lot of teachers, once you show them how to do it, they don't mind doing it. It's like you said, it's the matter of implementation. It wasn't as easy as we thought it was starting out. We had those 12 powerful words. We were saying them every day, and that's all we was doing. 12 powerful words, 12 powerful words. It was like, well, what are we going to do with these words? So then we had to come up with the next step. But it became easier because you have expertise on our Larry Bell team. If I bring a project to them and say this we're going to do, they would come up with all these activities. I'd be like, yes, that's great. So you had all these people that were giving us all these different things. But I can say it has made a great difference in our scores, in our school, and overall Larry Bell has been a lifesaver for Crestwell. And I've been at Crestwell going on my 13th year.